Yo guys, Jay Unchained here. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, hit the bell notification, and make sure you comment down below on your favorite manga similar to this genre. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about delinquent manga and 3 delinquent mangas I recommend to you. Now, delinquent mangas are fighting manga. They consist of like fighting, normally teens, and they're really compelling, weird enough. You're not just, it's not just as simple as fighting. There's great characters, there's a great story, there's a great back into the story. So I feel like if you've never read like a delinquent manga, you should definitely check a few out. So today we're going to be going through 3 of them. So the first one would be the manga called Out, right? Now this manga is about a 17-year-old boy called Tatsuya, and he's just been released from juvenile detention and is on probation. He's been relocated to a new area away from the bad influence of his old friends and is under care from his aunt. He's determined to be sent back to lockup, right? And he works hard in his aunt's restaurant. However, he still has the same personality, the same tendencies to violence, and still falls in the same sort of people, or still falls with the same sort of people that he was messing with in the prior area. It is going to be difficult for him to stay out of trouble, right guys? And this story is so compelling because the main character is trying his hardest to stay out of trouble, you know what I'm trying to say, but somehow he always gets drawn in, and that's because people can sort of sense that he's got power, you know what I'm trying to say. You know, we can see in real life, like you can sense that some people has got a different air around them. He's one of these people. Now in this manga is very compelling, the story is very compelling, the characters are great. This story's got such great characters here that the story kind of diverts away and drifts away from the main character, right? And it starts to progress through the story, you know what I'm just saying, like one of the longest arcs in the story. Is it even, or does it even consist with the main character? It's purely about different characters and very different characters and the two different gangs going to war, etc. And it's so compelling that you kind of forget about the main character because each character is so compelling, so detailed. You interact with them, you engage with them. It's all like you kind of like grow with the characters to the point where you kind of forget about the main character and think, hold on, I forgot who the main character was. Like, I haven't seen him for so many chapters, what happened to him? But you like each character so much, you're not mad at it. You're just not mad at it. Now if you want something to do with fighting, beat him up, this is one for it. If you want some sort of jokes, this is also one for it. Guys, this is a great manga to start your delinquent manga journey. I will not lie, this is called Out, right? You can read it on nearly everything. Yeah, the next one will have to be the manga called Worst. So this manga is set in similar times to the manga Crows. I don't know if you've seen the movie Crow Zero, which is also a delinquent fighting movie, right? You can find it, it's a great movie, do check it out if you haven't before. It might get you into the mangas. So this manga is set in similar times to Crows, but it's like a newer generation of like members, etc. So we got the main character Hana. He's a country boy that recently moved to the city. He is a good guy, he's honest, but he's very strong. His goal is to become the leader of Suzerain High. Suzerain High basically is like the delinquent school, one of the worst delinquent schools. This manga consists of like various different schools that are full of delinquents that basically go to war against each other to try to control the area. Alright, he and his friends encounter and fight many other gangs and rival schools led by clan logic and strength hierarchy. So like I said, this manga is very similar to the previous one called Crows. It's got lots of volumes, etc. This manga is very great. You know, I should say the artwork and the drawing is beautiful. The fighting is very beautiful. The characters are also great in this one. Like, you can't dislike these characters. Like, you sort of kind of like relate to them. You know what I'm trying to say? And also, if you're familiar like with the past, I don't know, say manga, etc., then they even give reference to the olden characters from the previous generation and why certain characters are beasts and why certain characters aren't, etc. And it's a good fighting like manga. Like, you can't go wrong with reading this. I'm telling you right now, you can't go wrong. Like, the story isn't as detailed as maybe like the previous one which was Out, but it's definitely got a lot of good elements. It's something, it's a great read, it's something easy going to just read and let you go through your day, like when you want to come back and you don't want to think too much, you just want to watch something, or you want to read something that's just crazy, it's beautiful. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I feel like this one should definitely be checked out by you lot, because like I said, it's easy to read, it's something to initialize or instate you into your journey of delinquent manga and what it's like. Alright, so last but not least, guys, you lot probably know this one, is Tokyo Revengers, which puts a little spin on the typical delinquent manga, and that's because the main character Taikamichi can actually travel through time. You know what I'm trying to say? So he's kind of got more control over everything in comparison to the other ones, which is more like set in real, it's like real life, you know what I'm trying to say. You can't go back and forth into time. When someone dies, they die. But this one here is also an anime, so if you don't want to actually read the manga, which I heard is way greater, and I've read some parts, I can tell it's better than the anime, but the anime is still great, so you can definitely watch the anime. This one is literally basically about Takemichi and how his character is a bit different to all the other ones. That all the other prior to that I mentioned, the characters are all overpowered, they're quite strong, you know what I'm trying to say. They get down and they get dirty, whereas Takemichi is a bit different. He's more of a character here that brings the strong around him, and he's a bit different. It's not your typical delinquent manga. It's definitely compelling. The story is definitely deeper than just fighting and getting their ass kicked, etc. The story is definitely something to look out for. Brief overview of the plot would be the character Takemichi, right, which is our main character. He's a lowlife, you know, and just when he thought he couldn't get any worse, he finds out that his girlfriend passes away and was murdered by the Tokyo Manji gang, right? And this is like the gang that he later joined, but when you read on, you'll find out more, right? So somehow he ends up going back into time, and he wants to basically prevent his girlfriend from basically dying, and it's the girl that he falls in love with. And slowly as the story goes on, he starts to clock on, it's not as black and white as he thought it was, and there's many shades to the spectrum, right? And his character, like I said, is more, starts off as a wimp, but then he grows and he becomes more powerful, but not in the powerful in the sense of strength necessarily, but with his actions, with his aura, and how he draws those that are around him to him, you know what I'm trying to say, and how he can, I don't know, he has an effect on those that he is around, and how he is valuable to a gang that's full of brawlers, and because he offers something different. And you lot have to literally read the manga to find out what the difference is. But like I said, the story isn't as black as white as just fighting. Like I said, you got the whole time travel thing, you got the whole thing with his girlfriend passing away, etc. Guys, it's definitely a great read, and if you don't want to read it, definitely watch it. Obviously, it's not completely an anime, it's still a sturdy series to watch. Guys, this is Unchained. That's 3 delinquent mangas that you lot need to check out. Not one to check out, that you lot need to check out. Yeah, I won't be happy if you don't. If you got any others that you lot would recommend me, leave it in the comment section below. Guys, this is Unchained. Hit that like button. I'm locking out. Peace.